Hi, this is Will Rothenberg, Director of Compensation and Labor Relations for the district.
And this is Kerr Fazone, Director, Island Coast FEA and Chief Negotiators for TALC.
And we're going to do a brief overview of some of the proposed changes to the TALC contract that you'll find in the FY21 tentative agreement. To give a brief overview, the negotiation procedure that we use is the interest-based process, which means that any decisions that are made are based on the consensus of both the TALC and district bargaining team members. Our bargaining authority is provided by the school board, and TALC recently received approval from the state for an electronic ratification vote. Implementation of the proposed changes will begin following ratification and board approval, and will remain in effect until the ratification of a subsequent collective bargaining agreement or June 30th, 2023, which would be the end of FY23. Bargaining for TALC began on March 9th, 2020, and then due to the coronavirus pandemic was put on pause and did not resume until September 21st, 2020. Tentative agreement was reached on December 9th, 2020, signed on December 18th, and sent to employees that same day. An information session will be sent out no later than January 6th of 2021, and the ratification vote is scheduled for January 20th and January 21st of 2020. Board approval is scheduled for January 26th, and payment will be sometime following board approval. The shared interests of the district and TALC are student success, workforce success, improved clarity and communication, and continuous improvement through data-driven decision-making and participatory decision-making. The proposed changes that we're about to review cover the articles mentioned here. We're saving the best for last, and we'll go over Article 10 and Article 11, that's compensation and benefits, at the end.
So Article 5 covers general employment practices, and we added some language regarding job descriptions and subcontracting language, which allows district employees to have priority over subcontractors for their assignment of duties. In Article 6, with working conditions, you will find some new language regarding workplace injuries and protections for employees who are victims of domestic or sexual violence. There's also clarification of existing language regarding alcohol, tobacco, and drug-free workplace policies. And there is an addition of language regarding last chance agreements for employees in violation of these alcohol, tobacco, and drug-free workplace policies. In Article 7, work schedule, we revised language regarding professional learning communities, or PLCs, to reflect those expectations located in the PLC guidelines. We also added some language regarding paid holidays for employees. And in Article 9, disciplinary procedures, we updated the existing language to improve communication and clarity regarding employee discipline procedures. We added references to Florida statute and Florida administrative code and added language specifically regarding predetermination hearings, right to receive notice of a complaint against an employee prior to a predetermination hearing, and the Teachers Association's right to attend all district-based predetermination hearings. We also added some language regarding the use of technology, and the language states that disciplinary action must be based upon the totality of the circumstances and not just solely the use of technology. We listed the non-disciplinary outcomes of investigations, which include no findings and letters of guidance. And we listed the disciplinary outcomes of investigations, including administrative notes, conference summaries, written reprimands, last chance agreements, suspensions, and terminations.
In Article 12, we discussed some proposed changes regarding leave in order to improve readability. We agreed to continue working on those rewrites and to bring a recommendation for a clear and concise rewrite of that article for FY22. For Article 14, duration and acceptance, we extended the duration by 3 years so that it covers FY21, FY22, and FY23. There was additional housekeeping, including changing the reference from peer teacher to mentor teacher, changing gender-specific references to gender-neutral references, changing some references of teacher or instructional staff to employee, changing when to if, wherever applicable. And for changes to compensation, there's a number of different changes that we'll review, including a $1,000 increase in base salary for employees who are eligible for the FY20 career ladder movement. There's also the teacher salary increase allocation, which is associated with some recent changes in Florida statute, intended to increase the base salary for classroom teachers and other instructional staff to the new minimum allowable by the available state funding. It also guaranteed that all employees will receive at minimum a 2% increase, and that new minimum base salary is $47,300. For special instructional staff, there was an additional increase to the minimum base salary, and that includes some of those positions listed below, including athletic trainers, school counselors, social workers, SLPs, OTs, PTs, school nurses, school psychologists, licensed mental health professionals, and board-certified behavior analysts. Their new minimum base salary will be $50,500, and that will offset the need for them to submit work experience. Also in Article 10, there's an increase in base salary of $350 for instructional staff with 10, 15, 16, or 17 creditable years of experience, which you can view on your PeopleSoft employee current compensation page, and an increase in base salary of $600 for instructional staff with 11, 12, or 13 creditable years of experience. This is a market adjustment similar to those that we have provided in the past in order to improve the equity of the salary schedule. We've also added a longevity supplement to acknowledge the dedicated service of district employees based on total non-consecutive years of district service. Those supplements are in the amounts of $250 for employees with 10 to 14 years of district service, $500 for employees with 15 to 19 years of district service, $1,000 for employees with 20 to 24 years of district service, $1,500 for employees with 25 to 29 years of service, and $2,000 for employees with 30 plus years of district service. This includes time that instructional staff have spent in support positions or administrative positions. It's about the total years of service to the district. If you had a break in service for some reason, it would be all of your years prior to and following that break in service. We also aligned the supplement amounts for school social workers, school counselors, and licensed mental health professionals, since some of the credentials for those positions may be interchangeable, and added 3 schools to the list of turnaround schools for FY21. That's this current school year. Franklin Park Elementary, Orange River Elementary, and Sunshine Elementary will be included on the list of turnaround schools and eligible for additional compensation for serving at those schools. The corresponding changes to the starting salary and experience credit, as mentioned before, with the teacher salary increase allocation, helped us to establish a new minimum base salary of $47,300 for instructional staff and $50,500 for special instructional staff. And again, special instructional staff will no longer be eligible for experience credit. We also clarified some of the language regarding starting salary and experience credit for JROTC instructors, and included language allowing for earlier payment related to the career ladder movement via the execution of a memorandum of understanding, and to allow for annual updates to the instructional supplement salary schedule via the signing of a memorandum of understanding. In addition, we added language to Article 10 clarifying existing incentive and bonus programs, including those listed below, and clarified some of the expectations regarding instructional coverage for special instructional staff. We also clarified some of the expectations around planning time for non-classroom instructional staff, including special instructional staff.
All right, so Article 7 is the benefits article, and this year the joint negotiation teams with TALC, SPALC, and the district negotiated an increase in the board contribution by $744 or $62 a month. So the board contribution will move to $8,104.80. This will completely cover any types of increase to the cost of the plan. So there will be no net impact of increased costs for employees for health insurance. We also added language memorializing the district's participation in the Florida retirement system and the contributions to Social Security. And so you'll also see here the timelines for ratification. So as Will mentioned, TALC received their waiver from PERC to conduct an electronic ratification vote, and that will happen on Wednesday, January the 20th, and Thursday, January the 21st. So those details will be sent out by Carolyn Hutto, the TALC elections chair, in the coming days. Following that, you'll see that board approval is slated to take place on January the 26th, and implementation will take place following board approval. If you have any questions, you can reach out to TALC via the website here or the phone number below, 275-8252. You can also ask your TALC rep at your school if you have any questions about the tentative agreement.